Hi, my name is Sue Coleman, and I'm really excited this afternoon to be speaking with Melissa Hyde. And I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because I really want Melissa to tell you all about herself. So with that, I'm going to introduce you to Melissa Hyde. Melissa, take it away.
Thanks, Sue. Thanks for having me on here.
My pleasure. So please tell us a bit more about who you are, who you serve, what products represent, anything you'd like to share with us.
Oh, wow. I've been around a while, so I could talk forever. So I have always been in, let's call it the service industry, helping people. I have been a personal trainer forever, going way back, started out university kinesiology degree and just became a personal trainer. And then added nutrition into that. And then more recently after that became started to study again, going back to school on energy and frequency. So really being able to help people with everything with respect to their health. So the physical side of actually moving their body, and then the nutrition, and then the emotional side. Because there's this great quote, I wish I knew who said it, because I would give them credit, but I don't know who said it, but it's emotions buried alive, meaning we're not going to talk about that. We're just going to stuff it down, never die. They just then go on to manifest themselves in physical ailments, if you will, in our body. Like pain in the knee could be emotions around not wanting to move forward with whatever it might be. So it's a really holistic approach to helping people with their health is predominantly what I focus on, but I am also a business coach as well. So it all ties into that as well, because as I say, if you want a healthy business, then you yourself need to be healthy. And uncovering, so I can tell them, okay, this is the type of workout you need. This, we'll talk about nutrition, but if you're not addressing your emotions, that's going to be holding you back, creating blocks and things. So
Oh,
yeah.
wow, that's a lot wrapped into one.
Yeah, and it was kind of hard to put it all into this because there's so much involved in there, and which is great though, because it's like I just have a tool belt of where do you want to start. We'll start with that. And
Yeah, I didn't realize you were doing the energy work. I knew you were a fitness trainer, but I didn't realize you
yeah,
did the energy work as well. That's
yeah,
really good.
fabulous.
Yeah. Well, we met through selling on the spot marketplace,
Yeah.
and I'm really intrigued by the product you brought to us there, the Tower Garden. How does that
Yeah.
work? That's really cool.
Yeah, so that fits right into the nutrition, if you will, just
Hmm.
helping people get more good nutrition into their diet every day. And that is through the Tower Garden, which allows people to grow fresh, chemical-free produce right on their back doorstep. Because as I'm sure the whole world is aware of the prices of food going so high. And then even availability, we can't always get what we are looking for at the grocery stores. And even when we can get it, it's picked long before it's right because it has to last on the truck getting to the grocery stores and then on your shelves and then in your fridge where mine usually comes to rot and die. And,
Yep.
it's the last few days of growing on the vine or basically still attached to its root system that a veggie actually acquires most of its nutrition. So with the Tower Garden, it allows you to eat it at its peak of nutrition because you just literally cut off from this vertical garden what you need to eat, and then the rest of it just keeps growing. So you don't pull the whole head of lettuce out, you just pull the outer leaves that are mature and ready to be eaten. And it's not only is it good for human health like that, being able to control what you grow and chemical free, and it grows 3 times as fast as a soil garden, produces 30% more yield, but it uses 98% less water because it's a contained system. So it just recycles that water. So you might lose a smidge to evaporation,
Yeah.
or the plants, their roots absorbing
Mhm.
it. But that's it. Otherwise, it's just this continuous loop. So that's really great. Doesn't have to use excess water compared to a soil garden. You're standing there with your hose,
Yeah.
and 90% less space. So we can grow vertically instead of having to spread out or mow down forests and jungles for animals to graze, right? So
Yeah, that's brilliant. So what kind of vegetables can you grow in there? Like, I mean, I'm guessing you can't grow potatoes and carrots, but
right, those are root vegetables, so they need to be in the soil.
Yeah.
So leave those guys there. So it's easier. Yeah, it's easier for me to tell you what you can't grow. Root vegetables and bushes, because they will just take over, like a raspberry bush. If you've ever grown one, it just takes over. It's massive and it would take over your tower. So the things that I really enjoy growing, and I tell people, just eat or grow what you're going to eat. So
Yeah.
salads, I grow all kinds of different greens, cooking, use your herbs, grow in there, your microgreens, which are super nutritious. They're just chock
Mhm.
full of nutrition because they're just little babies, and tomatoes and green beans and strawberries and, yes, squash and watermelons and all that sort of thing. You can grow all of it, all of it.
It sounds like you have some fun with it.
Yeah, you can try. That's what people do. They're usually conservative the first time. Okay, I'm just going to try these things. And then, okay, that was fun. Now I'm going to try and grow a squash, see how that works, or a watermelon. It does. It just takes a lot longer because, as you can imagine, how big they are compared to lettuce. So,
Yeah.
yeah, grow one of those, but really focus on what you're going to eat. If you love to juice, or you love to eat a salad, or herbs for cooking. Yeah.
And so how often do you sort of really need to replenish this? Like, I mean, how long can you sort of grow a particular thing? Like, how often do
Right.
you have to switch things out, or do you? I mean,
Yeah, yeah, definitely you do, because after, like, lettuce, for example, it'll start to shoot, right? It's just this long, spiny
okay.
shoot, and it doesn't have the nice leaf on it anymore.
Okay.
So for me, what I do is I start growing seedlings in April-ish. Fingers crossed, the frost is done in May. So then I put it into the seedlings into my, so I'll start the seedlings inside, and then I put them into the tower and I put them outside, and it grows outside till October. And then I take it all apart. And by then the lettuces are starting to shoot and so on,
Yeah.
and wash it all down, because you never want to bring plants that you're growing outside indoors. Because
Mhm.
even though you can't see it, there could be these microscopic little bugs and you don't want them in your house.
Yeah.
And I just start again. So in September, I usually start new seedlings. So they're growing indoors, towers finishing off outside, pull it apart, wash it all, bring it inside, and start again for the winter, and just keep doing that. So yeah, I really
So what do
here.
they grow in? Like, what is the medium they grow in?
Sure. There, so the seeds go into a little cube of rock wool, and then
Oh,
the
okay.
rock wool sits in a little basket, and then the seeds eventually grow through the basket, all its openings. Sorry, the roots grow through, and they
Mhm.
hang in between the inner part where the water and the food is pumped up the center, and then the outside part where it holds it. So it's in between there. So it's just no competition for food, water, oxygen.
Neat. And so it
Yeah.
just so it just keeps recycling the nutrient. I guess you put nutrients into the water, obviously, to
Yeah.
feed the
Yeah.
plants.
It's called
Oh, that's
Tower
great.
Tonic, a proprietary blend of minerals. It's actually NASA technology
Hmm.
to design to grow really healthy plants. And you can tell, you just feel them. You're like, those look fake. And to then impact human health. So we've had scientific studies done on that as well. So
Well, that's great.
yeah.
And I mean, I can see how outside that it will grow because the natural sunlight. Well, how do you manage that during the winter months when it's inside?
Yeah, you would just have grow lights.
Oh,
Even if
okay.
you have a bright sunny window, you still need the grow lights on it, because the windows do block some of the rays that plants need to grow.
Oh, okay. And are they on a timer or?
Yep, it's all plug it in and play self-watering, self-lighting, and then it just turns off. Yeah. It's
Okay.
great. And especially in the dark winters, I really liked having that on. It really lit things up. So it was nice, really changed your mood.
Yeah, yeah, I guess it would be great for that. And
Mhm.
how big are these? Like, I mean, I sort of have this impression of this massive tower, and I'm going like,
The
where would you
jungle,
put
right?
one? So, like, what size are these? They
Right. They're
come in
actually
different
designed
sizes.
for small spaces. That was the whole point, so that people are going to have them in their home. So
Yeah.
we have two models. One is 30 inches across, if you measured it right
Okay.
across, and the other one is 24. So just a little bit smaller. So they really do fit. You could grow them in a closet on a small balcony or wherever. They do fit. And then you've just got your produce growing. It might surpass a little bit that, some of the leaves hanging
Yeah.
down, but pretty much that's it, the width of it.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
And are these designed for commercial use or like as well? Could somebody, if they had a restaurant or maybe a bigger project, I think you mentioned that they have them in bigger environments. Was it the Chicago airport or something you mentioned?
Yeah, they have literally grown into taking on a life of their own. They've really become this mission-driven product, which is so fulfilling. So
Mhm.
they started out as just Tim Blank, who's the creator, just said, everyone needs to be able to grow fresh produce, have access to this. So it was just sort of a one-off. And then we started sharing them with schools. So classrooms started buying them, and we have lesson plans available now. And there's grants available for teachers or schools to apply for to get to buy towers, because it fits in with the science program. It fits in with the gardening club, sustainability, and it's lesson plans so the teacher can teach. And then it is moved into, as you said, the Chicago O'Hare Airport. They have 34 of them, and they're commercial size, so they're just taller. You add more, it's like Lego is what I think of it. So add more pieces of Lego on, and then you just need our high capacity pump to go higher.
Yeah.
And we have them at senior centers, food banks, in restaurants, just along and around the tables, and people say, oh, I'll have the salad from that tower over there, or rooftops, and the chefs will go up and collect whatever they need and bring it down. And then what's happened is Tower Garden farms have started. So that's anywhere from, I call a micro farm, like
Mhm.
10 or less. So
Yeah.
we have those popping up that they're servicing their immediate neighborhood, if you will. People can come there and just buy their produce right there. And then upwards of 350 towers, downtown Colorado, Altius Farms has one. It's massive. So it's really changed the food supply for people there. In
Yeah.
Dubai, the first sustainable school, they have a Tower Garden farm. So as I said, it's just taken on this life of its own, and it's just mind-boggling to think growing some food is having that impact. But if you start kids at an early age growing their own food, they're vested in that and they want to try it. So they will eat different things. And
Yeah.
if they're eating more nutrition, their brains are functioning better. And and then that can lead to having a farmer's market. So then the kids know how to do that. Or there was one school, they grew these mini hot peppers, and one of the moms harvested them and made hot pepper jelly. So then the kids were selling that. So there's so much to be learned from that. Because if you're not nutritionally fit, you literally can't learn properly.
Yeah.
So the younger we can start kids, even though they sway drastically as teenagers, if they have that good foundation, if they have good roots, they
Yeah.
will come back to that. So there's one school in particular in the Bronx, where this teacher, oh my goodness, Stephen Ritz started, and he wrote a book called The Power of a Plant. And I don't know about you, but when I think of the Bronx, I think of concrete and gangs
Yeah.
and, you know, and they had like 40% attendance rate in schools. And he started to grow these towers, and kids got interested and excited. And fast forward, he has now a 98% attendance rate in his class, 90 some percentage of graduates, like kids were usually dropping out of school and joining gangs and things. He has been gifted empty buildings and growing tower gardens on all these floors. Children are taking bags of produce home to feed their families.
Yeah.
He's got created jobs for them, and he's taken this and he's literally traveling all over the world, spreading the message about tower gardens and getting people to grow their food. And yeah, it's like I said, it's just incredible.
And as you said, it grows 3 times faster. So I would imagine where there's, food insecurity, being
Yeah.
able to grow things faster
Yeah,
must really help too. Wow.
absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's amazing. I didn't
it
realize
is.
it was, I mean, I knew a bit about it, but it's truly amazing what the impact you're having with these tower
Yeah.
gardens. So how can people get to know more about these tower gardens? How can they reach you to find out more?
Yeah, they could just reach out to me, send me an email or my website, and go on and learn and see what they're all about for themselves, or maybe their child or grandchild in school if they want to find out about the grants, or if they're interested in maybe even being a corporate sponsor for towers to place in it. They could choose their own charity, or we're starting to work on having them in every food bank across Canada. That's our goal, so that you can upgrade the quality of food that people are getting from the food banks.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so many opportunities down here.
That's
wherever. Mhm.
Okay, well, we'll make sure we put, well, maybe you can just speak it right now as your website, but I will make sure that it's in print later on once I get this video
Sure,
ready.
it's just melissahyde.towergarden.ca in Canada or .com in the US, or just, yeah, just reach out to me. The email's a little longer, so I'll like to put that in writing, but
I'll be sure
yeah,
to put
then
that
happy
in.
to just chat and send information, and yeah,
I
it's
can
an
see there's
exciting
just,
cause, that's for sure.
yeah, I mean, I can just see so many amazing uses for them. That's just fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing your time with me this afternoon and educating me more about tower gardens. And that's fabulous.
Oh, thanks. I'm so grateful to the opportunity to share more, whoever's listening, it's a few more people hearing about towers, and maybe they get it for themselves or they want to help pay it forward in whichever form. So,
Yeah. Well, right
yeah,
now, I just say there's just so many opportunities. Well, that's really super. Thank you so much, Melissa. And I
thank
look forward to
you
seeing you at the Selling on the Spot Marketplace online event soon. So thank you for
for
being here this
sure.
afternoon. Thank
Thank you again.